Hello, welcome to Two Mics, One Mac. I'm your host, Bennett, and here's my boy, Sam. What's going on, Sam?
Not a lot, man. Welcome to our podcast. Today, we have a fully loaded show for you tonight. We're going to start off with the movie Venom. Bennett?
Oh yeah, Venom. We saw that this weekend.
We absolutely did.
And what a hot piece of garbage that was.
But in the best possible way.
In the best possible way.
Oh, man.
You enjoyed it?
Here's the thing.
Okay.
You can have a bad movie.
Right.
And it can still be enjoyable as shit.
Uh-huh.
Like, legitimately. I felt it was worth the money because I thought it was funny. Okay. I didn't approach it as a movie I was supposed to get serious about. Mm-hmm. When I was watching it, I was like, this movie's ridiculous. I should just go along for the ride and laugh when I can. And that's what I did. And I enjoyed it. Okay.
I don't know. Because spoiler alert for Venom. Spoilers for this garbage movie, I guess. Let's talk about what happened, like, beat for beat in the plot.
All right. You know? So Act 1.
Act 1. Okay. Pretty boring.
It was a slow roll.
It was a slow roll, you know. And then there's like, what was the actress's name? It was Michelle Williams or something like that.
I think so.
Michelle. I don't know. She plays like generic girlfriend.
She does.
In the first half.
God, the most generic.
The most generic.
Didn't we find out it's like not a single one of her lines was anything other than being that love interest?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly the point. And then like throughout in the movie, like fucking Venom, they have Tom Hardy playing Venom with a really shitty American accent.
They did,
yeah. And in the movie, they like the bad guys. They like send Tom Hardy to like the middle of the woods, and like the Venom symbiote, it like bonds with Michelle Williams, and then they like get to the middle of the woods, and then like they kiss each other in the woods, and then the Venom symbiote like moves to Eddie as they're kissing, okay, and then Eddie just like gets the hell out of there, leaving Michelle Williams just in the middle of the woods. Did she just like walk the whole way back?
She's a power walker.
She does have the body for it in the movie. Like she did. Right,
okay, hold on.
Like, she had the movement speed for it.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so back to the first act, slow roll.
Right.
It's at this point I feel like the people who are making Venom realized this movie's not going to be great.
No.
So and that's the exact moment they steered into it.
And like the worst part about it though is that like the thing about Eddie Brock is that as soon as Venom like made it to screen, mm-hmm. That's when the movie went to hot shit. But like Eddie Brock already was just a hot piece of shit.
Oh, absolutely.
In the beginning of it. And
absolutely.
It's because like in a movie like this, especially because you really want a character who's likable. You know, you want someone who's like a fan of that. But Eddie just came across as like an asshole.
Yeah, especially the first act. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he starts like he becomes like jobless and homeless. He's like making friends with the homeless lady. You know, he's like cool with like the Chinese cashier. And I'm like, that's the hero that I want.
Yeah.
But for the whole movie, and up until that point, he's just an asshole. He's like going through his girlfriend's emails,
using the confidential information that was sent to her girlfriend to confront someone on camera.
Yeah,
and getting her fired because of it.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Why are you breaking up with me?"
Like, yeah.
And then
a few reasons.
Later in the movie, she's like, "You did this to yourself," and I'm sitting there in the theater like, "Yeah, you did.
We're with you." I was so happy she found someone else.
Yeah.
And I hope she stays with that someone else.
Yeah, and they don't even get together in the end of the movie.
And I'm so happy that happened.
Yeah, I'm so happy that happened because if they did, oh my God. It would have been like,
that would have probably ruined a lot of it.
Throwback to Venom's origin story.
Oh boy.
So in the movie, what Venom does is that he goes, he's like telling Eddie Brock what happened, and he's like, on my planet, I was a loser like you. Now I'm no longer. That's an actual quote.
Yeah, this was after Eddie told Venom that he was a loser.
Yeah.
Or no, Venom told Eddie he was a loser, and then he told himself he was a loser. Venom was probably both the best and the worst character in that movie.
It's just like, why do you have such an intimidating character just cracking jokes the entire time?
I got nothing, man.
He calls him a pussy.
That was that was the best scene of that movie.
Granted, okay, but why would Venom do that?
He
How
wouldn't.
does Venom know what a pussy is?
I assume he was bonded to a person, and do symbiotes gain the knowledge of their hosts? I didn't read the comics.
I don't know either. I don't really give a shit. You
All
know?
I know is
I
that
think it's important to like separate comic Venom from movie Venom. You know, because movies have their own artistic integrity, and I think it's important that you separate the two mediums as a whole.
Yeah.
While also using the source material as inspiration for your movie. However, that being said, comics tend to have good ideas sometimes. And
They do.
They tend to know what they're doing because that's what they're writing it off of.
Yeah.
So it's important to understand that. Oh, and the villain of this movie, Riot, whenever he'd like go from person to person, and he'd like attack person to person.
Yep.
But the problem with that was that every time he did it, you hear like an Inception, boom, like right before he did it.
You did.
I laughed so hard when that happened.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. It was amazing how little of a shit they gave.
And it culminated in the scene where Riot watches a little girl go into the bathroom with her mother, and you hear the blah, and then it changes scene to Eddie again. I'm just like, wait.
They cut that. There was a guy who greenlit that.
Absolutely.
They just didn't care, did they? They really didn't care because like, I don't think Marvel's gonna stop. I really don't care. I don't really think they are. You know, and they're just going to keep on pumping out these movies. And I know Sony has, like, this license that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just going to keep on pumping those movies out until they just stop.
Yeah.
So I guess we're screwed until then.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
But let's be honest, if they make a Venom 2, we're probably going to go see it.
Probably. Honestly, you know.
Like, I mean, we're all in agreement that in terms of story and movie quality, it was not a good movie.
No.
But it was entertaining if you look at it from that perspective.
Entertaining was definitely.
Yeah.
So, where were we? Discussing plot.
Oh god.
Yeah, okay, so, then...
We finished Act 1, slow build.
Act 1, he gets fired.
Absolutely.
And so then he's like down on his luck or whatever, okay? And then the Venom symbiote bonds with him? Or
Yeah.
did something happen in between that?
So what's happening is the main villain of the movie, Life Corporation, the guy running it, I forgot his name, basically is trying to match symbiotes with human hosts.
Uh-huh.
And so he's testing that, and a lot of people are dying. He handpicked someone named Isaac so he could do a whole biblical monologue in the middle of the movie. That was fun.
That did happen, didn't
It did.
Yeah.
He just had that ready for the next person named Isaac who entered his fucking testing chambers. And one of the doctors is cool that she's like, oh no, this is mildly to severely evil. And she went and found Eddie Brock?
Yeah. Yeah, that was
The
weird,
washed up old reporter?
That was really weird because they got Eddie Brock, the washed out reporter, to do... Well, then again, he was the one who, like, was the one who found it. So I guess I can understand why they get Eddie Brock and not a police officer, I guess.
Yeah, okay, I get... there's a reason why she found Eddie Brock, and it's because he was the one who stood up to him, like, 6 months ago, I think was the time frame. But at the same time, why did you find Eddie Brock? There had to have been so many better options.
At least a guy, you know, or, like, an officer... And then
There's got to be some government agency for this.
Yeah, and then Eddie Brock, he breaks into the Life Corporation.
He did do that with the doctor's help.
With the doctor's help, presumably with no security cameras, because later on in the movie they're like, "Who the fuck did this?" And they were like, and I'm like just sitting there. You were there, sitting next to me, and I lean over and whisper to you, I'm like, "Aren't there cameras or anything?"
Yeah. And I guess they eventually figured it out.
Yeah, I guess they did.
Which led to an interesting scene afterwards. But first, during the break-in, who does Eddie Brock see as he's sneaking around the lab? But that homeless person he was friends with from before.
Yeah.
And he freaks out, sets off every possible alarm.
Mm-hmm. No security cameras.
Still no security cameras, but a really loud alarm. And then he breaks the glass and freezer, and that friend homeless person jumps on him, and the symbiote goes to him. That's how he gets Venom. And then he just runs away being Venom and shit. Because he's super fast and impervious to bullets, and no one in that show or movie can aim. Keep saying show.
Right.
And then it leads to the scene where they find out this is the doctor. And the doctor is confronted by the main bad guy,
Right.
the head of the corporation. And they're talking, and it ends with the bad guy going, "We have to help him because the symbiote kills whoever it's on. So do you trust me?" And she said who it was attached to. She sold out Eddie Brock, which led to us immediately with a shot that panned outward, so you can see this conversation is happening in the same room where they throw symbiotes at people so that they die. And then she died. Because obviously, why did you trust him?
I saw that coming like the moment he asked who did it.
Absolutely.
Like I knew that.
He did a whole tangent of like he even said we can change, we can help you, we can work this out. And I was like, no.
No, you can't.
You know he's gonna kill you. You've watched him kill people. How is this news to you?
Exactly. And then what happens that like so after that, Venom, he's bonded to Eddie Brock and he's just chilling in his apartment, you know, and he's having like a fever or whatever, like you do, and then he starts like eating like bones and shit.
Yeah, that's Venom though.
Yeah,
Venom's just hungry.
That's the Venom part. I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that part of the movie, you know. And then
he looks in the mirror.
Yeah, he looks in the mirror
and he sees Venom's face.
Yeah.
And he makes a girlish scream and jumps back so hard he knocks himself out.
Yeah, and then he gets knocked out. That I didn't mind so much, you know, maybe that was like all brain stuff. But like later on in the movie, they like he like sees him, he's like walking in front of a car window, and then he sees like Venom's actual reflection, and I think I laughed out loud when that happened in the theater.
Did. You absolutely did.
I was just like, this looks so stupid. It was like, because my brain was like, oh, what else do you see in the mirror? Vampires. And so, or no, you don't see vampires in the mirror. Yeah. No, vampires are invisible when you see them. Okay. But like.
But your mind.
But my mind was, that's what my mind thought. I'm just like, oh, this is remotely stupid.
You're right.
Yeah. And this is just a frustrating movie, honestly.
I mean, if you're trying to get a good story out of it, yeah. Okay, so he sees the mirror. Oh, the best part, or one of the best parts was he's at his home later on after knowing it's Venom, and there's a knock on the door, and Venom's like, don't answer it. And he's like, yeah, sure, let me just go answer the door first.
Yeah, and it's like, and he does this all the time.
Yeah.
What pisses me off.
And he immediately got, like, attacked by everybody.
Yeah. And then he did that again, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
It was like, jump out the window. And then he didn't.
He took the elevator, and then Venom called him a pussy.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom of the elevator was every cop in San Francisco.
And then, like, the cops, they throw, like, tear gas at him.
And after he caught the first one, it makes you wonder why they tried to shoot more.
Yeah, which is really dumb, I think. Okay, so let's talk about the end fight.
Oh boy.
Where there's like a rocket ship in San Francisco for some reason.
That's not where you launch rockets from, but sure.
That's not where you launch rockets from. Like, even, like, scientifically, you want it more south.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, that's a nitpick. Okay, who gives a shit? I guess there's a rocket in the San Francisco city area, which is where you put a rocket, obviously.
Yeah.
Next to casualties, so if the rocket falls, it just lands in the city.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
That's where you put it.
And by this point, Riot is attached to the CEO of the Life Corporation, the main bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Riot's like, I'm going to take this rocket back to my home and bring back every symbiote so we can invade this planet. And the CEO was like, cool with that.
You know what I thought? I was like, wait, if it's a rocket, how do they get back?
And then we had to remind Bennett that rockets in 1969 could make it back to Earth from where they were going.
Okay, well, shit.
And the first scene of the movie is a rocket coming back from the planet with symbiotes on it.
Okay. Don't judge me.
Too late. Absolutely too late.
No, but then they have this big ass fight, and like the problem is that they're both like Venom goo, but like, when they fight, they're like basically the same color. So I have no idea what is happening on screen.
Yeah.
Who's punching who? It's just like it's like watching Play-Doh fight. Yeah. And it's just it mixes together, but like they're roughly the same shade of Play-Doh.
Yeah.
So you don't know what's happening, and it's like visual diarrhea. Is
Absolutely.
What it is.
But that even skipped over my nitpick, which was they're in the control room, and the CEO's like, all right, scrub the diagnostics, just launch it now. And they're like, why? And then the guy just leans over the computer and types in his password and starts the launch for 5 minutes, which, first of all, he's just going to have to sprint from the control room to the rocket in 5 minutes. But second of all, no one in any government's going to be like, hey, what? No one anywhere.
Yeah, that's true. Even Elon Musk, when he had to do his whole space thing, everyone was like, the government was like, Elon, are you sure about this?
Yeah, and you've got to imagine that even if that rocket had launched,
right,
that someone from ground control would have made a call to the government they received clearances from to launch rockets and been like, hey, unclear, like, we didn't clear that launch and you clearly didn't. Someone should do something about that. And then that rocket would have caught a missile.
Yeah.
It absolutely would not have made it out of Earth orbit.
No,
it would have been hit by an ICBM.
No. And better yet, if they were on their way back, the government would have been all on that
Oh,
shit.
yeah. No. You don't get to do that at all.
No.
It's like, a rocket got launched and we didn't give any clearances and it doesn't look like anyone was on it, but it's coming back. That's concerning.
Not at all. Anyway, so let's...
But Venom wins. There's a whole scene where he, like, slices through the rocket fuel tanks and the whole rocket blows up and it's great and everyone's happy. Well, not everyone's happy.
Not everyone's happy.
But
Venom dies, but not really.
Venom quote
we need
dies.
A sequel,
And
then we make it to the end.
Yeah.
Venom bites people's heads off. He bites a head off.
That was the end scene.
No blood.
No blood. PG-13. It's important.
It was going to be rated R.
Yeah.
And then they changed it at the last minute, probably to make money. And I heard rumors that they wanted to hopefully integrate into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And God, I would pay to see that. It's just like this trash movie just combined with all these really good ones. And it's like, wow, all these great characters I love. And Venom's also there? Hi, Venom.
But, yeah, and then the end scene happened. Post-credit scene.
Yeah, there were two.
Woody Harrelson is there.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, and...
He's Carnage.
He has, like, that fucking Orphan Annie wig.
He
that
does.
He's just wearing. And it just looks so stupid. It looks
really
so
did.
stupid.
Oh my God, it did.
And then, I don't know, it's just, I don't picture Woody Harrelson as a villain. You know, he looks too dorky to be a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. There'll be carnage! And I'm like, they did
He
it.
said it. He said the word.
He said it. That's the villain's name.
Ah.
I was hoping to do the same with Venom.
The
Wow,
rope.
you're almost like a poison or some kind of venom. And then they would have, like, cut to black.
Roll credits. Like, he said it. All right.
Wow,
All right,
you're
so
some kind of man bonded with spider. A Spider-Man.
even, yeah.
Wow, you're like some kind of letter of the alphabet man. Or men. An X-Men. Roll to credits.
I need movies that are just convoluted ways to say their movie title
I
now.
need like a skit of just people doing that.
Absolutely.
With very...
All right. So overall, out of 5, how would you rate the Venom story?
Out of 5, how I'd rate the story of Venom? -4.
Understandable.
Yeah.
How would you rate the actors and actresses that were in it? Like, how good actors were they?
They tried their best.
They
Tom
did.
Hardy especially trying his best with that American accent.
And he definitely drifted off.
Drifted from regular American to Brooklyn American to Boston American.
All us Americans sound the same to them.
And then, yeah, I guess that's it. Who is this for?
The movie? God, it's for people who want to spend $13.
Okay.
0 out of 5. Comedy.
Comedy, it gets a solid 6 out of 5 from me for making me laugh. Actually, no, 4 out of 5 because the first act was terrible.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 because I remembered it wasn't trying to make me laugh. It was just happening.
All right.
All right. So overall, out of 5, hit me.
2.
All right.
2. I give it a 2.
And yet we're still glad we saw it because the comedy.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
It's not good, but see it. Okay?
Yeah. If you have $13.
If you're sitting in a hotel room and it just happens to be playing,
Yeah.
You might as well sit down and watch and pay half attention to it.
Wait for it to hit Netflix.
Yeah. Not even that. Maybe like something cheaper. I don't know. Like, what's cheaper than Netflix?
Pirate Bay.
Alright, yeah. Mega Share? I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead and pirate that movie. It's pretty entertaining.
So, anyway, I've been watching TV, right?
Oh boy.
Yeah, and some commercials are coming on, right?
Oh boy.
And then they had an M&M's commercial, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I saw this on the internet earlier, but they made a pretty good point. But like, why is the green M&M sexy?
Well.
Just your face of disappointment when I said that.
Well.
Just complete gold.
And I know how great faces translate over podcasts and audio mediums. But the reason why the green M&Ms is sexy is a very resounding don't kink shame me. That's it.
But seriously though, why'd they make her sexy? Why'd they sexualize M&Ms?
Because you can sexualize anything.
They can, but why M&Ms? I don't give a crap. They're M&Ms. And then, like, they go off and they make all the other M&Ms just normal, okay? They have the yellow M&M, which is just dumb. Then they have the red M&M, which is just a smart ass. They got the blue M&M, which is super cool and chill. They got the orange one, who's just a nervous wreck. And then they have, like, sexy, come and, like, go inside me M&M.
Here's the thing. They ran out of archetypes to put M&Ms in.
What about, like, normal woman archetype? How about that? How about, like, I'm a woman in my mid-30s and I have a sales job. Don't at me.
Definitely the M&M I want to pick over the others.
It's the most normal one. And then later on, they add the brown M&M.
I forgot about him.
But then they sexualize her, too.
I forgot about her.
They make her a sexy librarian type.
All right, chill. All right.
Why does this exist?
Do you want to know the real reason?
Sure.
You know how advertisement works.
Of course I do.
Yeah. You're talking about it right now.
Okay.
That's why it's that way.
We gotta sexualize our M&Ms?
To inspire people to talk about it. And what are we doing right now? We're playing right into their hands.
I guess so. I don't know.
They've gotten us with their high-heeled, sultry-voiced M&M.
You never wanted a fucking M&M, did you?
I'm gonna go ahead and plead the fifth on that. But in all seriousness, I don't think anyone does. I don't even know how that would work.
Exactly. It doesn't work. That's the point.
You're right.
Just break it. Break her candy shell.
Oh, baby, just break out of that candy shell. Show me the real you.
Speaking of women.
Oh boy, is this a transition to your wedding?
This is a transition.
Or not your wedding, but the wedding you went to.
That is true. Okay, so for context, I went to my aunt's wedding last weekend, and it was a beautiful wedding. It was really good. But I went to the rehearsal dinner before the wedding, and I was not actually invited to this rehearsal dinner. I wasn't invited, and it was really awkward because my parents were invited, but me and my brother were not. So we walk in, and we see that there are name tags there. And I look over and I'm like, oh, weird, me and my brother don't have name tags, whatever. It's stressful for them. I completely get that. So my brother, he does a quick sweep around the rehearsal dinner, and he comes up to me and he's like, yo, Bennett, we don't have name tags. And I'm like, huh? And he's like, no, we don't have name tags. And I'm like, oh no. And so I run around, and I can agree that no, we don't actually have name tags. We don't actually have name tags, Sam. We don't. We don't have name tags. And so I I go to my mom and I'm like, Mom, I'm freaking out here, and she starts freaking out. So she starts going to the groom and the bride and the mother of the
It's
groom.
like, hey, did you remember to invite my son?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And so what happens is that eventually the mother of the groom comes to me and she's like, yo, okay, we have a problem, but don't worry, I can fix it. You can have my seat. And I'm like, are you sure about that? And she's like, yeah, go ahead, just take it. And so what this means is that now I'm sitting next to the groom during the rehearsal dinner because I took her seat. I'm sitting next to the groom. I went from not being invited to sitting next to the fucking groom.
Were you invited to the wedding itself?
I was invited to that. I made sure. I double checked.
Nice.
But still, it was really awkward. I was like sitting there and I'm trying to think of small talk with the group, and I'm like, yo, so what? Anything new with you? And he's like, I'm getting married. I'm like, oh.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
It's the most awkward wedding you've ever been to.
It was so awkward.
God.
And it was just shit like that, you know? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you do anything, like, any hobbies? And he's like, nah, I've been kind of busy on account of my wedding and all. And I'm like, oh, yeah, right, okay. How is the wedding process? And he's like, stressful. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Great conversation.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of pissed. And his mom, who gave up the seat for me, was giving me the stink eye the entire time. I know!
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's what I said. Because, like, she's the one who gave up her seat for me.
You can't offer and then confirm your offer and then be annoyed that you accepted the offer.
To be fair, like, I told some relatives about this. I'm like, I swear, she's like, has some shit for me. And they're like, you've got to be out of your fucking mind to think she's paying any attention to you right now. And I'm like, no, but she is! She is, though! She's like staring at me, she's giving me that stink eye. I was like sitting at my seat at the wedding, and I like look up and I see her just like staring me down like a puma. Just like looking at me down and just like
waiting for you to show weakness.
Yeah, pretty much. And I just looked down. I was ready to submit. I didn't care. Along the drive there though, okay, that was a story of itself.
Oh boy.
I don't think I told you the story yet.
You did not.
So what happened was that, so I was driving there with my family, and what my mom typically does is that she likes to pack stuff for our trips, okay, so she'll pack snacks and goods and games, whatever, okay? So she packs snacks, and I'm like, Mom, I'm hungry, and she's like, oh, cool, there's some food in the bag. So I reach over, and I find a Ziploc bag full of hard-boiled eggs.
Delicious.
I know. Still in the shell, too, okay?
Yeah, well.
So, I'm like, me and my brother were just dumbfounded, be like, Mom, you can't be serious, right?
That's gonna end badly.
And my mom's one of those people who, like, if she offers you food and you refuse it, she's like, why are you not taking the food that I made? I worked hard on this, and you're just being disrespectful. There are starving kids in Africa. How could you do this?
Well, slam the table more, Bennett.
And so I go. I'm just dumbfounded. So I'm like, fine, all right, I'll take an egg. So now I have this egg, and I'm like, Mom.
So you're in the car with a shelled hard-boiled egg.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
I'm like, Mom, how am I supposed to crack this? Because I have no silverware. I have no plates, and so she's like, I don't know, get creative. And I'm like, okay. So I like twist over to the car door with my egg in hand, and I just kind of knock on the deck with my egg to crack it, and I just kind of peel it on the bag.
Jesus.
And now that car smells like eggs, I'm hotboxing this car with my eggs.
Exactly. That was my concern.
It was a trip, man. It was a trip.
I bet.
My mom's a fucking character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Sounds it.
She makes horrible jokes.
Oh, what type of horrible? Okay, horrible bad or horrible? Oh my god.
Okay, here's an example. Like
Hit me.
One time she had made a joke. She was like, Bennett, what's LeBron's favorite sport? And I'm like, basketball? She's like, okay, what's LeBron's second favorite sport? And I'm like, I don't know, Mom. Lacrosse.
What?
Are you cringing yet?
Oh, I'm there.
I sure am.
Oh, I'm there. All right.
Oh my god, that is the type of humor. And then she kept on going with like that stuff like that. She's like, "What's LeBron's favorite clothing brand?"
Oh my God.
Lacoste.
Oh, what? Oh, Bennett. Oh, Bennett.
And that was the humor.
Oh, Bennett. What's LeBron's favorite drink? LaCroix.
Oh, I hate you. Oh, I hate you. Oh God. Why would you fan the flames, man? Why would you?
That one's for you, Bennett's mom.
Oh God.
All right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm about to go on a road trip with my family, and
How's that?
I like my family.
Where are you going?
We're going to Connecticut to visit my sister.
Where?
Connecticut.
No, but like where in Connecticut?
Oh,
Yeah.
the place that's near Yale.
Okay.
That's all I got. I think it's like a college town around
Okay.
Yale.
Really?
Yes.
Around Yale?
Yeah,
College
but
town?
college. Okay, listen. There's there's a town with a college in it,
Okay.
and there's a college town, and there is a difference, because a college town has a lot of places that are suited more towards college students, like used bookstores and millennial foods, whatever those are. I said, being a millennial myself.
Mm.
Mostly, it just has more options and more like out there options. And less mainstream stuff is what I'm saying. But essentially, we're going to a college town around Yale, and my sister works there, and we're visiting her, and we're going on a long road trip over the weekend. It should be fun. Last time we did this, we stopped at a Waffle House at 3 in the morning, or not a Waffle House, an IHOP. Sorry, we stopped at an IHOP at 3 in the morning, and my mom and my sister both lied down in the bench in the seat
Right.
and took a nap.
So what'd you do? You just awkwardly sit there and
yeah.
chow down?
Yeah, I was just eating. No, it was after we eat, and we were waiting for my stepdad to come back.
Right.
And they would just kind of lie down, and I stood up, and I took a picture of it. And I also took a picture of them sitting up tiredly and looking at me in disbelief. And those are some of the best pictures I have of my family right there.
I love that.
Yes.
I actually love that.
Unfortunately, most of the car trip's going to be sing-alongs.
Sing-alongs?
Not sing-alongs. More accurately, my mom and my stepdad are going to sing along to the songs that are playing.
Oh.
But not the normal singing where you try and match the notes.
Right.
The singing where you scream the lyrics as loud as you can.
Uh-huh.
And, have a good time.
Okay.
As long as you're you and not anyone who's listening.
All right.
No offense to my mom, who's definitely going to be listening to this.
Oh, no offense.
But we criticize her enough. She knows we do it out of love. All right.
So, to end this podcast off,
Absolutely.
we wanted to share a book that we found
In one of our buildings, in the lounge building of our college, there sits The Private Secretary's Manual by Bernice C. Turner.
You can just hear the misogyny just like from the title page.
You absolutely can. It is perhaps the most astounding book of its kind, helping thousands of women reach the pinnacle of success in their secretarial careers.
That is a quote from the book.
Even, I'll do you one better.
Okay.
There's read what others say. The Private Secretary's Manual is the most complete reference work of its kind I have seen. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. I apologize. I find that it is by far the best guidebook for secretaries, young and old, that I have ever read or seen. In my opinion, it should be read by every woman in business.
Every woman in business!
That's from a Mrs. Laurie Brophy. I pronounced her first name wrong, but I don't care.
This is so terrible.
Yeah.
This book is terrible.
No, and it has like one of the subheadings in the there's the secretary is the stenographer chapter, and one of them is know your typewriter, and fresh new ribbons make a difference. And remember, position is everything. But the proper time to interrupt, I've never seen this.
That's a thing?
The time to interrupt is usually a matter of discretion. Sometimes it is well to try and get an entire sentence and then go back and read it over until you come to the place where you missed a few words. Many men forget what they are going to say if there's an interruption in the middle of a sentence. Others prefer to stop at once. Learn which method suits your employer.
This is horrible. This is actually horrible.
But if you're wondering how could this be made in today's world, especially since it mentions typewriters, that will be your first clue.
Right.
That it was in fact published in 1963. And we have a copy that was printed in 1970. Which leads me to the question, how did this book from 1963 make its way into the lounge of a college campus in Northern Virginia?
Feminist studies?
They have that here?
I don't know.
I mean, actually, if you want to major in something here, they will make the major for you.
That's true.
So probably. More likely, it just got left there by a person. Wait, hold on. Does it say a library?
It does. Library of Congress.
No. Yeah, this is in the Library of Congress. Check it out.
It belongs to a person.
Oh, someone's name is in it. We should probably put it back.
Probably return it, yeah.
It's been in there for, yeah. Someone obviously got rid of it.
They're done with this.
Yeah. And we're done with this.
Reading, like, the foreword itself
Oh
is
my
just
god.
a meme in of itself. First sentence in the foreword. Secretaries are made, not born.
I will do you one better once again.
Okay.
Going all the way down to the fourth paragraph.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, I'm sorry, the second paragraph.
Second.
A successful private secretary enjoys the feeling of being indispensable to an important man.
If a woman does not submit to a man, is she really a woman?
That's the hard-hitting questions this book asks.
I know.
Man, remember, no one who has not been a private secretary can know how completely a man relies on his secretary and how he appreciates the way she looks after his interests and protects him from outside annoyances and distractions. That is the book that is in our Northern Virginia Community
book.
College.
If you can't look at her, then is she even doing her job right? Like, let's...
All right. I'm done with this podcast.
I guess we have a special guest.
But we don't. Oh my god.
This is our friend.
And whitest Asian we know, Harrison. How are you doing today?
Fuck.
Dude, that's a big mood right there.
That is the big mood right there.
That is the big mood of the day.
Harrison, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. I just dipped out of my class. I'm here. Good shit.
We appreciate your presence.
We appreciate your presence. Harrison, take a seat.
Alright.
Oh god, it's continuing.
All right.
The podcast is still going.
The podcast is still going. We thought we'd end it, but
I was about to
one
end.
more for you.
I was gonna end it until Harrison walked in the door.
Way to cock block our ending, Harrison.
Harrison, allow me to let you.
Absolutely here for that.
Allow me to
Okay.
borrow your microphone.
We didn't
Borrow
expect
my
a guest,
microphone.
so we didn't have an extra mic for this. So we're going to be sharing microphones.
Oh yeah, absolutely awful.
This is
Professional. Wouldn't you agree?
So we went through a plethora of topics. We went over Venom. You saw that with us, actually.
I sure fucking
What did
did.
you think of it?
What did you think of Venom?
It's just as good the second time.
You saw it twice.
I sure did.
Why'd you see it twice?
I paid for it twice too.
That's not technically true. I paid for it the second time. Still waiting for him to pay me back.
Whew, that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, I know.
So,
I'm gonna say it in exactly the same manner I said it the first time.
so,
We hit Venom.
We hit Venom.
this book, the Private Secretary's Manual. Bennett talked about his wedding.
we
Did
talked
you
about,
steal that from CF?
We did. I'll put it back.
We
All
talked
right.
about
The M&M.
the green M&M and why is she sexy?
How long did this topic go on for?
Too long?
Too long.
All of our topics go on too long.
Too
That's
long.
part of our charm.
Was Henrique part of it?
It's where we drift off
Thank
until
God,
the
no.
joke is no longer funny.
Whew.
That's our type of humor.
Comedy comes in force.
Comedy
Yes.
comes in 70s.
Yes. If we haven't beat a horse to death yet, the joke still goes on.
I honestly didn't know that was the thing that you said.
Which one? Comedy comes in force or beat a horse to death?
I thought you said comedy comes in fourth.
Oh.
Comes in a fourth.
As in we're only supplying a fourth of the comedy needed to listen to
25% of
us.
the joke.
As in we have 3 other priorities,
Dude.
unnamed.
All half of the setup.
Dude, 25% of the joke but twice as many calories. That's weird.
Oh, the biggest joke is in our act.
Alright. So,
Harrison, what do you want to talk about?
what do you want to talk about?
You're our guest.
You're
here.
our guest.
You control.
It's up to you. What's new with you?
My echo over here.
Ooh, suddenly I regret coming here. Putting me on the spot like that.
What'd you expect?
Wait, hold on. If we put him on the spot too much, he's just gonna start talking about anime.
Ah, shit. Our podcast has gone to shit.
All right. I think that's a good time to cut it.
Look at me making that visual joke in this podcast.
Alright.
Dude, I just made facial expressions for a lot of my podcast bits, and it was Bennett laughing at seemingly nothing until he said your face.
Yeah. You made some great visual expressions. Something great for a non-visual podcast.
One day we'll be able to afford more than just a $20 microphone I bought on Amazon with my grandmother's Amazon gift card, and Bennett's mic he borrowed from a neighbor. Soon we'll graduate to equipment.
Soon. Alright, so that being said, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check us out. Be sure to recommend us to other people.
And if you have any funny videos, send them to us.
Or any questions, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll see you in a week.
Peace.
Bye.